Okay, so what we see here is Windows Phone 7. This is the Mango release. This is something that's scheduled to be released later this year. In the Mango release, one of the major enhancements that we've made is its integration with Office 365. So when you look at an email thread like this, the conversation view actually makes it very easy for people to browse through the emails and to decide which one they need to work on, whether it's the unread email, the flagged email, or the urgent emails. And it's not only email that we're offering with Office 365, the calendar feature, the consistent contact that we have stored in the cloud. You can access these content information and your calendar information, whether they're on your PC, your phone, or your browser. And one of the most amazing feature about Office 365 is its integration with the Windows Phone 7 Office Hub. So with Office Hub, you can actually access all the documents stored in the cloud. So over here, we see something that we call a document library, and it is consistent with what you're seeing on your PC. So you have the ability of accessing all of your company's documents. You can choose to download them, choose to keep them offline, and or just like simply open this document. This is actually a Word document, and you can work on this Word document. You can do editing, you can do some viewing, and also you gotta know that this is a full fidelity view. It means that we're not changing any of the format in this document. And so one of the amazing thing about Office 365 is it does not only support Windows Phone 7, it also supports other smartphones. And the way that we support other smartphones is through what we call a browser mode. So let me just show you quickly how Office 365, the SharePoint Online, is going to look like in other smartphones. So let me just open up the same document library in a mobile browser. And what you can actually see over here while we're waiting for the website to render is you get a simplified view of all the documents that you have stored in the cloud. And when you click on a certain document like this PowerPoint slide, it gives you a thumbnail. You're actually using your mobile browser to access this document. You can click on the slide, go into the detail. The server would actually render the document as an image, but the image quality is very good, so you can actually read all the details in this slide. You can move to your next page. And what it is doing is it's basically just converting this document into a simple HTML format. And this is how we're going to support other smartphones. And when we say other smartphone, basically when you have an internet connection and when you have a mobile browser, they will have the ability to access Office 365.
So what you see here is the SharePoint 2010 website, so SharePoint Online. First thing I want to show you is how easy it is to edit a SharePoint 2010 website. It's like working in Office. If you're familiar with the Ribbon UI, it's really easy to work on a SharePoint 2010 website. For example, I can highlight here some text. I can change fonts on the fly, so I don't even have to reload the page. It's what you see is what you get on the fly. Okay, so really easy to edit SharePoint 2010 websites, also for users that have no IT knowledge, basically. So another feature that is really important of SharePoint is the centralized document repository. So what we want to make sure is that our users they use one single source of truth when they collaborate on documents, right? So we have these documents stored on SharePoint, and you can access these documents from the PC, from a browser, or from your phone. So what I want to show you here is the access through the browser. So this Excel file will open up in the browser, and this is part of Office Web Apps. So it's the same viewing experience in the browser, or if you see the file here, open up in Excel on your desktop, it's really the same user experience. And as you have seen in the last demo already, so you have it on the phone as well. So you have the three screens, okay? Another important part to SharePoint is the history of all these documents. So if you have edited something and you want to have the older version again restored, you go to the version history and then you can restore all the different kinds of versions that you have stored. What you see here as well is who was the last person that edited the document. So, and this will lead me now to into another service that is part of Office 365, which is called Lynx. So for example, David Lim has stored a version of that document as well, and I have some questions for him, so I can instantly start an instant messaging conversation with him directly out of SharePoint. Okay, so this is how you access Lynx from SharePoint, but of course you can also access it from Outlook. And so Office is also part of Office 365. So here I am in my Outlook, and you see I have the presence information, for example here, as well available to me to start having conversation with my colleagues.
It's really nothing much to show on the security, because this is more on the forefront protection for Exchange, right? So basically, it block on the gateway itself from there. So you will filtering. They have their own central database, and you filter all the spam emails, everything, and it will send to you to your user mailbox at the end every day. If let's say there's a quarantine, they will send a notification to the users. So if let's say this is a genuine emails, the users can choose to release at their own will, meaning that they can release at their own time. If not, they just leave it as quarantine. The quarantine will be purged after 30 days. That's it, right? That's on the security and safety, right? As on the customers talk, Rohama and partners, they used to have every day 300 over spam. After they switch over to 365, 0. So that's the accuracy that they have. Microsoft is assured that.
Okay, basically this is the external public-facing website. So what we can do is that on SharePoint itself, I can actually log in as a member, which I already logged in as Mita. So I just go to the Home tab. Okay, so and if you can see that you know what, I can actually make the editing part on this portion, so I can just do a live editing. Okay, I'm going to insert a video on this website. So I just go to a YouTube page, copy the script from here, then just go back to the browser, just insert video, okay, paste the HTML code, do a preview, okay, and there is the video, so click OK. So this video will be loaded on the web, and then after that I'll just save and close, okay, and I'll publish it. And this is actually running online.
This station basically is talk about connecting with people anywhere in a new way. So basically we are talking about Lynx, and it's a link online. So in this console, what you can see is basically it's just a normal MSN users, MSN console, and you can chat the user within your organization. Beside your organization, you also can chat with external users like MSN users, Yahoo. All right. So Lynx basically it's a collaboration tools for you to do a presentations, and you can do file sharing. You can do a remote support on the desktop, and you can do a new poll. All right. Of course, if the users that you're promoting is a presenter, he can view the slides in advance while you're doing the presentations. And the users, also called the attendees, when they want to raise the questions, they can click on this pointer and ask the questions as, what about this line? Or they can draw a line and say that, what is this about it? So this is all on very real-time collaborations, right? So this is on the rich client tools. So what happened that for those users that do not have client which is running, they can use the Exchange Outlook Web Access to access to the chat. So basically this is my own users, which is they can change their own presence, and this is the users they have been added. And now what I can do is I just click and double check. So I just said hi, and over here I just need to click reply and I've received. So basically I and Rina now is doing a chat, and one is using a rich client and one is using the web. Right? So this is where one of it. The other one is if you can do further tweak on the client, you can have the translation on, meaning that when you type. So let's say I want to translate it to Chinese, simple Chinese, and translate. And this is go. And the other party, let's say he's Chinese and he only understands Chinese, it can be understandable. The last station is basically IT management. So in on-premise situation, like let's say there's a new staff coming in, you want to provision the user with email enabled. So you have no choice. You have to go into the AD, create the users, then you go to Exchange to enable the users to have a mailbox. For Office 365, what you can do, you go to the new, you go to the users, and when you click new users, you just type in the user's name and the email address. When you click next, right? When you click next, this is where you can assign whether this user have an admin role or where is this located if let's say your company is around the world, right? So I'm not going to give admin right. Next. So from here you can assign the license. So assign the service. For example, let's say these users you just need to assign Exchange Online, Sharepoint Online, and Office Web App. So basically, when this is be turned on, these users only have these 3 services. Alright. So this is where you can continue, and then you will send to the administrators the email and a temporary password, so that the local administrators can send this email to the users, say that this is your ID, just log in and change the password for the first time. Once it's done, it's been created, and the new user has been provisioned. Right. Next is you can also edit a user's in the bulk, meaning that you can edit the users in the different services. What I can do is I can change the services whenever I want. Let's say for these users, right now they have E3 plan, and maybe 3 months later I want to demote it to K plan. This is where you can just change the user services from there, right? So I just have to replace and change to these services. Once I click submit, the user services will be changed.